All right. Hello and welcome to From No Crypto to No Crypto. This is Blockchain Wayne with another cryptocurrency podcast. Today's episode is brought to us by the Cryptocurrent Conference being held in New Orleans, March 15th, the first cryptocurrency and blockchain conference in New Orleans area. Tickets can be found at www.crypto-currentconf.co. All right. Today is special. We have a special guest interview with Mr. Bruno Sessions. Now, Bruno is a co-founder of trycryptomining.com and TCM University. And we're going to get into a little bit more about what that means and what they do. But I've been watching them on Facebook. We've interacted quite a bit as far as what they're doing. You've been following my podcast for some time. You know, I focus heavily on education, helping people to understand and break down those barriers to get into crypto. So it was an obvious, easy connection for us when we kind of talked and linked up about what they're doing out there. I see them doing a lot of great things to build the crypto community, having events at their place. And so, Bruno, I want to thank you at first for joining us today for this podcast episode.
Yeah, we're really excited to be on with you, Wayne. Likewise, sentiments your way down there in Louisiana, doing some amazing work and really bringing a lot of people into the space. So we're really excited to be on with you today and hopefully make this a regular thing.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. So let's start off with the first question. Tell us, so what is trycryptomining.com? And maybe then you can explain to us TCM University.
Yeah, definitely. So me and my partner, Jared, we met each other through Craigslist. Kind of a crazy world out there on the internet. You just never know who you're going to run into. And we founded up this company after really me getting into crypto mining just on my own. Ran out of space in my attic, and Jared, my partner, he's a electrical engineer, and he has a lot of skills that we needed in terms of the electrical components and the construction side of crypto mining. And when we got into it, we were in the middle of a bull run, so it was pretty nice. When we were mining Ethereum at $1,200 a coin, it's real profitable. We're not doing that anymore, but we know that the crypto mining is obviously a very critical component of the entire space. So without miners, we don't have any cryptocurrencies or blockchains, right? So you wouldn't even be able to call yourself Blockchain Wayne if we didn't have crypto miners.
Absolutely.
Man, this beer tastes good. So the best part about what we did here was we actually built out a full showroom, a full-scale data center, and we have all of these miners in there right now that we're working for ourselves. We're mining, but we have clients that come in and want to learn, similar to what you do down there in Louisiana, and we're able to give them that education and pair that up with the product. So that's what we're doing on the mining side. And we do have a full-scale classroom and a virtual classroom here in the facility to my right. This is our YouTube studio and our live studio where we're doing all this kind of stuff. But we spent the last 12 months really working to construct this from the ground up. So we're now coming out of that phase, and we're really jumping into the fun stuff, which is this right here, getting to drink a beer with you on the live, and letting everybody know what we're doing, and really building our brand and our presence. And we have something really special that we've been working on directly related to a token. So we'll talk a little bit about that later. But as far as the mining goes, where can you buy a miner, get educated, and continue your education? So critical, right? As you educate people out there in Louisiana, you can't just plug it in and leave it alone. Similar to when you're trading, you can't just hodl. It's a funny little term that we have in the community, but if you do that, you're going to get wrecked. So we want to make sure that we educate and we continue to educate. That's so important. And we really like Treehouse Beer when we educate and continue to educate. So cheers out there on the live.
Got to try one of those. Yeah, I tell people all the time, like the hodling term or hodl, depending on where you are, I guess depends on how people say it, but it's a term used in the industry, and I think it's really just designed for those people that really don't understand how to identify market trends and stuff like that, because who wants to hang on to something when it's in a bear market, unless you're just that type of person that wants to hold it and not worry about it and come back 10 years later, So
which could work. I just think human instinct allows for most people to want to see success very quickly in today's world with the internet and globalization. So that's where, we have to kind of bring expectations back to reality and help people better understand that, without cryptocurrency mining, we don't have blockchains and we don't have cryptocurrencies. So that's really, what we're doing as it relates to that side of our business. And we have some really big plans. So we're just getting started, but we already have a few clients who are fully engaged and learning every day and really excited about it. And that's where our passion lies, is we really want to make sure that people come into the space appropriately and get the appropriate, marketing and communication from us where they fully understand what they're getting into. This isn't a, get rich quick scheme. You're not going to start mining today and be rich in 30 days. So we just really are trying to bring a lot of transparency to the space and make sure that we operate with full integrity, and all of our clients and anybody that interacts with our organization fully understands that. So, and that's really why our name is Try Crypto Mining. We don't want people to immerse themselves and overextend themselves financially to get involved. We want them to try it, understand the space, and continue to educate in the areas that they want to. So I think that's the most important part of the space, is you can dive headfirst into it, but if you try it and you test it, and that's kind of what I did. That was my journey, and I really liked it because I was able to get my feet wet, learn at my own pace, and then really develop a full acumen of the space, and then be able to deliver it back to other people, because that's kind of how this works, in my opinion. It's really community driven, and there really hasn't been an industry like this since the internet started, right? Which was driven by people and communities. So, but this one's even more unique because it's more robust, it's more dynamic, and it's much more applicable to business and pretty much everything in everyday life today as we live in 2019. So we're really excited, not only about our company, but about what blockchain brings to the world,
Yeah, absolutely. I have conversations with people all the time that don't understand it. So you just can't grasp how many different industries are going to be impacted in a positive way as blockchain and cryptocurrency adoption, moves along, and we impact just so many different industries, so many different problems, issues that are out there with the current system. Absolutely. So why don't you take us back? So tell me a little bit about your start in this rabbit hole of cryptocurrency. I like to get that from people because for me, it was kind of unique. My first Bitcoin I bought from a Bitcoin ATM. And then I realized, okay, I've got a few Bitcoin now. What the heck did I just buy?
What was the fee? What was the fee on that? Just curious.
What was that?
What was the fee for that?
Oh heck, I didn't even pay attention. It had to have been over $10. I mean, 10%, but I didn't really care. When Bitcoin was right under $1,000, I didn't really. It didn't matter at the time, So
yeah.
So now I pay attention to the fees, because those machines typically run 10% or higher. But so how'd you get your start in, I guess, just starting to dabble and immerse yourself into cryptocurrency, blockchain, and mining?
So I relocated from Florida back to Connecticut, and I went to found this thing on the internet called the Crypto University, ironically. So they had an event in one of the major cities here in Connecticut. I decided to go in the middle of a snowstorm. It was like 5 degrees. Had no clue what it was. Actually, I had heard of Bitcoin a little bit, but I didn't know what it was or blockchain at all. And met a bunch of really awesome people, networked, really smart people, actually, that I met at the event. And it got me really passionate about this because I had been building computers my whole life. And programming and doing web design. And I was around when Visual Basic 3.0 was popular. So I'm only 34, which sounds kind of crazy, but I remember building simple programs in Visual Basic 3.0. So this really was in my wheelhouse, and I decided that I was going to go into it. And I built my first miner with an RX 574 gigabyte, which I paid $300 for at the time. So it's kind of crazy. Let's look at the prices now, but after I did that, I just fell in love with the idea that this computer was able to solve problems and generate currencies that I could then ultimately cash for dollars. But as the more we learn about this space, we don't really want the dollars anymore, right, Wayne? We want the Bitcoin. So so we know where it's going. So, but initially, it was just fascinating to me that this computer could really make that happen. And I'm a Linux guy, have been for a long time, and I do Windows when I need to. But seeing how stable this was in the Linux environment was particularly unique for me, and got me even more excited about this whole space. And fast forward really fast, I had about 30 graphics cards in my attic, running off of a few motherboards, and just totally enthralled with the whole thing, and knew that this is the future. So. And then, the trading obviously follows that, because you now have your finance account being reloaded from your computers. So naturally you start to learn a little bit about that. I went through some training on that. Can't say that I'm totally passionate about the trading side, but we know it's important. So what we want to do with that really is bring in some expert professionals as it relates to our university. I certainly won't be teaching those courses. As you know, this is a very volatile market. If you're going to trade, day trade, and the like. So really what we're focusing on is bringing the mining solutions and continuing education for those individuals who also have a vision of the future like us. So, but that was really how I got started, and now it's a full-time thing for me. Traveling out to Las Vegas next week. We're doing some big stuff out there for our marketing, like we talked a little bit about. And now we're really coming out of this construction phase and into full-on immersion in our brand and what we're going to do to change the world. So
nice. So what's your I mean, I know you kind of hinted at there's some big things coming, and you and I kind of talked offline that there's some things you're not ready to reveal yet, that some big things that are coming for TCM University and all. But someone's looking at trycryptomining.com and TC Mining, and maybe they're not local to where they can go to a meetup. What message would you, or what would you kind of tell them as far as how can they get involved with what you guys are doing?
Yeah, so one of the reasons we really built out this facility was we know how important the connections with people are. We don't want to just meet people through Facebook. Ironically, really awesome that we met you through Facebook because you're all the way down in Louisiana. But, that's the power of the internet, right? But every day we have to be, meeting face-to-face. People have to interact with other people. And that brings us to the Cryptocurrency Experience Room, which is the first of its kind. We have 4 stations set up in there. When people come to our events, they're able to learn about Bitcoin first with a white paper, really immerse themselves in that because we know that's the starting point. And then they go through a round of stations and actually see a full crypto mine and a cryptocurrency miner. And they really get up to speed. So somebody who knows nothing about this space, similar to myself when I went to my first meetup, they can actually come into this room and fully immerse themselves in the basics. We teach how to secure a cryptocurrency. We teach about mining, and then we teach about how do you continue your education. So everything that you learn in that 15-minute experience will allow you in the future to then get your feet even more wet like I did. So the reason I came with that vision was I knew that we needed to be able to bring somebody who, really doesn't know anything, because that's what's going on in this space right now. Excuse me. We have people out there today who are very excited when they hear about this and they talk to people, but it is scary. So we have actually had a few of our clients here tell us that they've purchased hardware wallets and they were so scared to use them that they're still sitting in the box. Mm-hmm. And that, for us, just fuels what we do every day. We want to help people, and that's truly why we exist. So we feel like we can really do that with the Cryptocurrency Experience Room, our full-scale classroom, and also our virtual classroom. So anybody around the world, wherever you're sitting, we're on the phone with someone from Greece, Athens this morning, you can come into our classroom here in Baltic, Connecticut, and you can learn about cryptocurrency. Shoot, you can learn just about anything. And I know Wayne and I are going to get into that in a little bit, but we are kind of shifting a little bit from learn blockchain to learn anything, because we don't want to put anybody in a box. We don't want to have a niche market. We want to make sure that we're globally extending this opportunity and using blockchain technology to do that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. There's so many different things you could touch on with that. I'm actually working on a second book right now, kind of to expand on my first one, which was a beginner's guide for cryptocurrency. And man, I just keep adding different chapters just because so many different things come in when it comes to educating around this. There's so much you want people to know that this is, it's something that's here to stay, and people need to really just put aside being scared. So you have somebody come in that you're talking to about cryptocurrency, and a lot of people I talk to initially, they're hesitant or skeptical or scared or whatever to dabble in it. You've obviously got the experience from us. It's great for people there. But what do you normally tell people when you're talking to somebody about cryptocurrency outside of the room, and they're kind of hesitant or don't really know anything about it?
Yeah, we shared about the experience room, starting with that white paper from Bitcoin. I mean, I think that's something that everybody in the space knows, but often gets oversighted. Even if you've been in this space for a while, I mean, I oftentimes will, now I can just jump into our experience room and just kind of hang around with it on the wall, because that's what we've done. But I'll always go back to that and refer to it and really understand the fundamentals, because Bitcoin, there's some speculation now where we really don't know that Bitcoin is going to be it because of its transaction speed times and some of the things that are hindering it globally. However, it is, the original concept and the fundamentals that are there. That is what is really driving the space to where it is today. And we know that we can build off of that, because that's what this whole space is about right now. And that's what's so exciting, is it's about building and growing, and Bitcoin is the fundamentals. So we encourage everybody, whether it be in the experience room or on their own or at their leisure. We have, QR codes all over the facility. Some of them are linked right back to that white paper. So we just want everyone to start there and finish wherever they want, because once you have the fundamentals, you can go anywhere in the space.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, there's a guy that participates in some of our meetup groups down here, and he always tells new people, when they're talking about how do I get started, how do I learn more about it, and same thing, he sends them straight to that white paper, because I mean, like you alluded to, I mean, there's a lot of cryptocurrencies out there. Bitcoin was the original, and it's still over 50% of the market right now. So I obviously feel that there's going to be quite a few that are going to emerge, and maybe some that haven't even been created yet or are coming. But I think they're going to be kind of fractionalized to different use cases,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I foresee Bitcoin as, maybe the Lightning Network can change that to where it will be faster transaction times, but I'm not really counting on that. I see Bitcoin as more of like a store of value, gold, but can be moved easier than gold can, because if I have, say, $50,000 sitting in Bitcoin, and I want to move that to you or to somebody else, then I can do that for I can do that easily. As far as fast micro payments, they're going to be different factors that are going to I guess affect different currencies to where they get implemented for that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cool. So try crypto mining. So do you teach people about ASIC mining or GPU mining, or both? Or
that's a great question. Obviously a really hot topic right now. And, we've obviously talked a lot about community. And when we talk about community, always brings us back to GPU mining, because it is so adaptable. There's so many different currencies that you can mine. Whether they're profitable or not at the moment in the market is a totally different story, right? And that's where the education comes in. However, ASIC mining is definitely not something that at this time we have a significant focus on. But as we know, this space changes so rapidly that we're ready to deploy those solutions at any time, and we have the infrastructure to do so. So when we feel that that is an appropriate channel to jump into, we certainly can and will, and make those recommendations if our clients are looking for that. However, at this time, we really do like the adaptability, like I said, of GPU mining, and into the future. There has been a lot of speculation that mining is dead, that mining is going somewhere other than up. And, again, brings us back to that core fundamentals. There's going to be new projects. There's going to be new coins. There's going to be new people coming into the space. If somebody tells you today that they know the future of cryptocurrency and blockchain, that would be the person that I would stop following, delete, and go ahead and start doing your own research and getting yourself involved in projects that you are the person who's the driving force behind educating yourself, because there's so many experts out there. However, Bitcoin was created, when was it, 2009?
Yep, white paper 2008, and then January 2009 was the first block.
So if anybody in 10 years' time can tell you the future, they're lying. So that's where I'll leave that conversation. However, do we know that GPU mining is going to be the future of cryptocurrencies and blockchain? We don't. So we don't make any speculation, and all we do is live in the moment. And that's the whole basis of our company, is we really want to make sure that we are adaptive and we overcome the day-to-day challenges that this unique industry presents, because if you stay stagnant, just like we talked about earlier, and you don't adapt and you don't continue to educate, you're going to get left in the dust. And that's what technology brings to 2019. And that, for me, is what fuels my passion every day. I'm up, morning, noon, and night researching, educating myself, continuing to educate myself, and make sure that we stay on the leading edge of this industry, because it is moving at a locomotive pace, and it's not stopping for anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, question I've been asking quite a few people lately, what do you feel as far as the future of privacy coins? That's been a hot topic lately. So I like to touch on that with different people I interview. How do you feel privacy coins will play a part in cryptocurrencies moving forward?
Yeah. I mean, we had our grand opening not too long ago, and we, I think you were involved in that one. We actually raffled off a turtle miner. So it's something that we innovated. Like I said, we're continually educating ourselves and adapting to this market. And Turtle Coin is a privacy-centric coin. It was fundamentally based off of the Kryptonite Lite version 7 algorithm. For anybody who doesn't know what that is, go check it out. But it's extremely lightweight, privacy-centric, and it allowed for very quick transaction times. The development team that was involved with that project and continues to be involved with that project is just absolutely incredible. I would encourage everyone to go check it out. And really, when you can shield a transaction and remain anonymous, that was the whole purpose of Bitcoin and the starting point of this entire space. So when we think about why would we want to have privacy, I had to get some beer, Wayne. So why would we want privacy of our transactions? And I always give this scenario to everybody is, let's say you go out to dinner right now, 2019, you don't know anything about blockchain, cryptocurrencies, or Bitcoin. It's become second nature for us to hand our personal information and identity to a waiter or waitress in a restaurant. Let them go into the back room, swipe our personal information and identity into a computer, and allow them the opportunity to potentially write down your name, full name, your credit card number, your expiration date, your 3-digit security code. That's what I love the best. That one's supposed to protect it for you. So, you're allowing them to do that right now, and you're not even thinking about it. That thought isn't even crossing your mind. And they come back to you and they hand you that information back. And then like 4 months later, you do a dark web scan and you found out that your credit card is being sold for 25 euros somewhere in Europe. And you're like, holy cow, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Well, the question that Wayne asked about privacy coin and privacy-centric transactions and contactless payment, which is really where we want to go with this space, would prevent all of that scenario that I just described. And that, for me, personally, is revolutionary, because today, in many restaurants that you visit and your families go to, you don't have an option to protect your privacy and shield your transaction. So that, I think, just speaks volumes for where we're going and what this space is going to accomplish as it relates to privacy. So I think privacy coins and privacy transaction shielding should be at the forefront of anything we do in this space. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. There's so many different reasons. You don't want people to, just be able to have an open book to see what's in your wallets, what are you spending, what are you receiving. It can open yourself up for attack. And I did an episode on privacy a while back, and I quoted, most people know Edward Snowden. He was quoted as saying not too long ago, he said, arguing that you don't care about the right to privacy because you have nothing to hide is no different than saying you don't care about free speech because you have nothing to say. Right? It's not like privacy is not trying to hide illicit or illegal behavior. It's just protecting your rights and protecting you from, becoming a target or so many different things, when it comes to privacy. I definitely see that playing a big part in the crypto space going forward.
Yeah, and I think just to piggyback off that, we talk about a lot of the times like the security of blockchain fundamentally. I mean, once we take custody of our cryptocurrencies on hardware wallets, right now in 2019, we feel really good. I'd love for somebody to guess my seed code, Yeah. I think it's going to be pretty hard to do. So, and we've obviously taken appropriate measures to secure that. But, once you understand that and you get that fundamentals, I mean, it just brings a smile to my face because, holy cow, we have complete control and we don't need anybody. I don't need Wells Fargo. I don't need Bank of America. And once people hear that, guess what? They start getting real excited. Because I don't know about you guys, but last time I checked my bank statements, the banks that I'm forced to bank with in the last 5 to 10 years, I don't like any of the fees, let alone the fact that all my information and data is compromised on a single server. So, let's start talking about that. Let's bring that to the light. Let's get everyone educated, because this starts and ends with education. Because if we just stay ignorant to what's going on in this banking industry, and we'll talk about the JP Morgan coin lane, I know we will, but oh my God, this could get ugly if we don't educate ourselves, right? So we don't want to play victim and fool to this anymore, and that's why we're here. We're not stopping. Like, you could tell me crypto's dead, you can tell me mining's dead, tell me all that stuff, but I'm not listening to you, because I know what this brings to us as a society. And when we build these communities, we're unstoppable.
Yeah, right. Education is the key. That's kind of why I started doing what I was doing. I started out with crypto after being in crypto for a little while. I started a fund, of course, in 2017. It was great, just helping people invest and just kind of managing it for them. I don't, just basically get some skin in the game. But realized early on that just helping people, invest or put some crypto into a fund is not the same as educating them all the different aspects they need to know about cryptocurrency and blockchain and what it really means. And really just like you mentioned, just getting people to see what's wrong with all of these systems today. One point of failure, we saw what happens with Wells Fargo. What was that, last week or week before?
Yeah, I got a good story on that one. So we're going through the process of purchasing a home and needed a bank statement to prove funding in my account. And for 48 hours, I couldn't access my account.
Ooh.
So, that's just a small glimpse into what happens when you have a power outage. So,
yeah,
I don't know if we believe that one, but
thought it was an exit scam for Wells Fargo, to be honest with you. But all right, Bruno. Well, you know what? I mean, we're kind of getting to the point where we're getting towards the end of the episode, and really, I just want to kind of open it up. What parting thoughts, or what would you have to say to anybody out there listening, whether they're listening to this recorded podcast or to your live streams you got going on right now? What's the most important thing for them to know when it comes to crypto and what they should be doing to educate themselves?
Yeah, so we obviously want to say thanks to you for letting us come on the podcast. We know you've been garnering a lot of attention, and attention's important. So, like I said, we're embarking on that journey now, and we're getting ready to go full on. In full immersion. We haven't even scratched the surface. So, one of the things with your organization, we like the fact that you work, you do things, and really for us, is about execution at this point. There's a lot of people that talk. There's a lot of people on social media. There's a lot of people who've got really good ideas. However, the only thing that actually allows for success and to push the space forward is action and execution. So one of the reasons that we're really excited to be working with you and linking up with you is that you actually do work. How many podcasts have you done now?
I believe this one will be episode 91.
91 episodes is a lot of work. And that's what we like. We like work. We're really excited, and honestly, we're really humbled. I got 2 phones staring at me right now and 2 live streams, and that's all possible because of your organization, from No Crypto to No Crypto, which I think is a really cool name because really nobody knows anything about crypto, and guess what? They need to know. So I love it, and that's why we're here with you. So we can't thank you enough, and we're going to continue this partnership for a long time. We want to be there on episode 1000, right? So 91 is good, but we're shooting for 1,000. We'll be there with you, right next to you. So one of the things that we didn't really get a chance to talk about was the most exciting thing that I think we're bringing in 2019. So I have this up here behind me for our live followers. The TCM University, and you can kind of see our logo there. It's not available yet, but it's coming. And I'm traveling to Las Vegas, like I shared earlier. The sole purpose of that is to really make this big. We're going to be doing a lot of marketing efforts out there and some partnerships. And really what this is all about We don't want to reveal too much, like Wayne mentioned at this time, but we have a strategy where we want to globalize education using blockchain technology. We have developed our own token, and we're going to use that to create an economy that allows for the future generations to not be burdened by debt through education. And whenever I talk to people about this, as we were developing it, PhDs, MBAs, masters, little bachelor's degrees like I have, they get really excited when we start talking about this because it's a global problem right now. Particularly in the US, there's increase of tuition year over year at exponential rates to the point where people can't even have access to a quality education at a state level because the costs are so insurmountable. When they're done, they have nothing left except for the opportunity to go get a job. And that degree may not even facilitate them getting the job they intended to get. And now they have $100,000 to $150,000 worth of debt. So that is the problem that we're attacking with our solution. And Wayne alluded to it in the beginning of this podcast, but the future of blockchain technology is use case and application to industry. We're really focused on what we're doing with crypto mining because we want to support infrastructure and ecosystem. However, we realize that until somebody starts taking actionable execution steps to solve real world problems, we have nothing. We have a bunch of cryptocurrencies on an exchange that everyone's trading. And what we are going to do with the TCM University, which we've developed, like I said, and already have the token because we've been working really, really hard, is we're going to allow global access to education and create an economy with our token where educators are rewarded for their time and the investment of their content and are able to transfer their knowledge to other individuals globally with using blockchain technology. And that's what we're working on.
Nice. Well, I'm sure we're going to circle back around, and once you can tell us more about it, we're going to get you back on another episode. How's that sound?
Yeah, so on that note, we are going to be, like I said, in Las Vegas this week. It's already here. It's crazy. Amazing how quickly time flies, but I'm going to be recording a live video on top of the stratosphere. Have you ever been there?
Oh, I've jumped off the stratosphere many times.
Yeah. So I'm going to go on the stratosphere live, and we're actually going to launch the TCM University when I get launched on top of the stratosphere. So stay tuned for that on our channels. Try Crypto Mining. We're going to be on that as well as the TCM University when that goes live. We'll co-broadcast that across the trycryptomoney.com channel. So if you're not following us, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn. We're just about everywhere at Try Crypto Mining, at TCM University, and we are going to change the world. Nice.
Well, Bruno, it's been a pleasure, man. I appreciate you coming on. Looking forward to great things. Definitely, we'll have some more conversations offline to find out more what you're doing and how we can incorporate and work together on these programs, man. So, and everybody out there listening, I want to thank you for listening in, and we will catch you on the next episode.